Live from the Preston Highway Studios, it's 24-hour Purple People.
Hey, here we are. Welcome back to 24-hour Purple People. It's been a while, hasn't it? I guess it's been like years, centuries, way too long. Yeah, we are back as of now. Can you gentlemen hear me? You know, we're working out the kinks. We're working out the kinks, and we're trying to figure things out. And you know, I am excited to kind of relaunch the show and talk Louisville soccer. We have such a great city for soccer, and there's a lot going on in it, a lot to talk about. And joining me today, two good friends of mine. First, the man on the top left corner of the screen. He is the OG capo. He is the tailgating van master, Mr. Ken Luther. Ken, say hello.
Hello, what's going on, folks? Great to be back.
Yes, I am also excited. And on the top right, it is the author of the Purple Prose.
It's pros, John.
Pros. Matt Dalton. Matt, hello, Matt.
Good to be back, Johnny. How you feeling? You feeling good?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really good. And
So, just a little bit of behind the scenes of how this kind of all came about. I don't want to spill too much tea. This is a little inside baseball, but I want to say about a week ago, I got an envelope under the door, slid under the door, right? So I run out and I look at the door, and there's a cloaked figure kind of slinking away into the shadows. I mean, pretty standard stuff. And then the envelope was sealed in wax, and there were claw marks. And inside there was a note written in newspaper letters, clipped out newspaper letters. Pretty standard stuff. Again, I just had a URL and then a date and a time. And then I typed it in, and that was 5 minutes ago. So now we're back up to date, everybody.
yeah, everything just magically came together all of a sudden. And, these things are difficult. This is going to be a little bit less, how do I say, like we've got a little flair, but not as much flair. Maybe it's a little bit more relaxed. We used to say we're a casual show for casuals, but I was never casual. I was always like, I want to make around the horn for my basement. And I don't think that was a reasonable thing to try to obtain. But as we know, there was also a lot of issues with our beloved clubs, especially on the women's side, that kind of hampered some of the growth of things. I think it hampered a lot of things, and it definitely hampered this podcast, videocast, whatever. I think it also played a role in some other ones coming to an end. And one thing, Matt, that I think you brought to my attention was there's kind of been a little lack of podcasting this year, and that's one reason we want to kind of get back on it. But another reason we want to get back on it most of all is we have two teams that we really love here in Louisville, and one of the teams is the defending Players Shield team, and so far so good.
Champions right there, right?
We
Call
that winners of the Players Shield. Yes,
winners of the Players Shield. Thank you.
Players Shield, which points total for last season. Excellent team. A lot of people are a little bummed out about the first time we didn't make the Eastern Conference Finals, but whatever. We've come back with a fire in our belly, and we just went to the top on Saturday.
Yeah. Yep. Back on the top. We were tied for first with Detroit. Now, Ken, you said jokingly the other day about Detroit was actually at the top of the table because D in the alphabet comes before L. Is that for real?
Well, I believe so, but as Detroit would, their fans would like to say, we're not very smart here in Kentucky, so we don't know the alphabet very well. But I'm pretty sure that we proved who was the better team on Saturday.
Well, I don't have shoes on, for the record.
Right.
You are wearing bib overalls underneath that hoodie too.
Yeah. Well, it's a sweet ass hoodie. All right. So
good overall too.
Hoodie, man. Look at that hoodie. Look at this.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wizard on DJ turntables. Are you kidding me? It's fire.
We had Detroit in town, and I will say this: for all the shit talking Detroit does on the various social media platforms,
Which is a lot.
which is a lot. Respect to their fan base. They do travel well, and I've met a lot of really cool people that have come down to the tailgate and stuff. So I don't know. I'm the type of person that my interaction with you is based on me talking to you, and that's about as far as I get on thinking one way or another with an individual. So everybody I've met, Debbie, shout out to Debbie and her friend that were dressed in the
Dressed to the nines.
Yeah, dressed in the Kentucky Derby gear. That was awesome. And they marched with us, so that was cool.
Is that why they were dressed like that? I honestly didn't. I thought they looked like...
Yeah, they were dressed for Derby, yeah.
Like it was like the Pirates of Penzance or some shit. I didn't know it was a Derby outfit.
They tried. Yep, it was a good effort.
No, I mean, yeah, no, fair. I mean, it was warm, so if you're gonna put on extra accoutrements and clothing and come out and see soccer.
I think the wind was taking those hats and turning them into sails, but
dude, the wind was terrible on Saturday. I missed the game, so shame on me, but it was pretty bad. Did anybody have any storm damage last night? We had a confirmed EF1 tornado in Jefferson County last night.
One of my chairs on the porch fell over.
Oh, that's damage, yeah.
We will rebuild. Yeah, we had one of our little lights in our flower/weed bed. Not that kind of weed. Just blew up. It like lifted out of the ground and blew off. And I was standing like when I heard the sirens. So first off, my first reaction when tornado sirens go off is to immediately go to the front porch and look outside because that's smart. So
that's what you're supposed to do.
I think it is. So I went out there and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty bad. So then I was like, oh, and then I got a phone call from Jefferson County Emergency Services telling me to take a tornado warning, take shelter. And I was like, well, that's kind of strange. So I go down to the basement and I go to the sliding door in the basement, big glass door. And I'm just standing there. I'm like, the wind's not even blowing. And then we get a phone call from my sister-in-law who's watching Ryan Hall. I don't know if you guys are familiar. He's like a YouTube meteorologist. And he instead of looking at radars and stuff, he says stuff like, hey, if you live next to this, you better take cover. He says on the air on YouTube, if you live by Lowe's off Preston Highway, you need to take cover. Okay, that's like walking distance from my house. So I'm like, so I'm standing here at this big glass door, and then all of a sudden we have a willow tree kind of like off in the backyard, and this willow tree just starts going shoosh, and then something flies by Twister style, and I was like, oh, okay. And Katie's like, why are you standing by the door? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, for the record, John, standing by a glass door is not the best place to be in a storm.
Probably
I'm
not
saying
the
you
best
gotta get in
idea.
your bathtub every time, but maybe don't like a big sheer pane glass. Maybe avoid that. Have you seen Final Destination?
I have.
Covered
yes.
this.
Yeah. No, I know, Ken. You were seeking. You had a little shelter going, but I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was
I
right
got,
south.
It hit our neighborhood pretty quick, and it was a good 5 or 6 minutes of just wind, just destroying, taking down all the branches in our neighborhood. And then I got the lens alert from the city. Thanks for being a little late on that one. Yeah, I think they would want to.
First of all,
what's that?
Where'd they get my number? First of all, like
you gotta
they're calling me at all hours of the night.
Yeah, you got to sign up. But I had to dig my cats out from underneath the bed, throw them in a carrier, get down. I'm carrying 2 cat carriers downstairs, and Rebecca comes down. She's got a beer in her hand. Pop. I'm like, great. I got the cats. You got the beer. Okay, that works.
Smart.
She's smarter than me. That's true.
Yeah, they had Fairdale is where the EF1 touched ground over there. So yeah, it's kind of scary there for a second because it was It was Southern Jefferson County, Northern Bullitt County, and like on the little warning radar, it was like this little square, like it was like directly over my house. I was like, well, this is interesting. So anyway, all right. Well,
I want to say this is so far 100% more weather talk than I was expecting. I just want to throw that out there.
I told you it was gonna be casual this time around. You know. All right.
All right, let's talk about the game.
Talk about the game. All right, we have to. Black screen. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Shut up, Mike Watts. All right. Now, there should not be audio coming through, but can you guys hear anything? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Great lineup. Love it.
Okay. I don't know where you guys are at right now. I don't know why you guys can't.
We have.
Okay, one
Dia
moment.
got the start over.
Go ahead. Keep talking.
So Dia got the start. Was this his first start this year?
What?
For Dia.
I don't think it was his first start. I think it was his second. Second start. Pretty sure. I can look it up, but I'm not going to.
I really like what Dia has been bringing well into last year. He's like one of those players that I almost wrote off. I guess you kind of take him for granted a little bit, but I mean, just what he brings to the team.
I think he had a kind of a longer term injury first. Mm-hmm. Second, he normally played in a 4-back formation, and we're now playing 3 in the back with 2 wing backs, and he's kind of come into that wing back role. I want to say the player that competes for his position with him is Morris. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Morris. And I think he's hurt, although I haven't seen any injury reports. I do believe you're right. He's really stepped up into that wingback role. And when they kind of rotate into that 4-back, when they're pushing the other side and even pushing Tosh up into enemy territory, I think it's an excellent
official bugle.
And I think to your point about I mean, they're pretty stingy with those injury reports, right? So Jake Morris, we're missing out on. I mean, you would assume he would make the 18 if he was healthy. Who else were we missing? Same Gleedle.
Gleedle, Ownby, Cabe, and this kid Cano. Don't know how to say that.
Isaac Cano.
Cano? Yeah. Haven't seen him play
yes. Yet. Cano.
So right. Yeah. So the Coach Cruz in the after game interview mentioned not an injury crisis, but they were carrying a number of injuries. So I think we got 4 or 5 folks that are going to go see the physical therapists during the week. Hopefully we don't take any more, because we take too many more, we're going to start running out of depth in some positions.
I think we're pretty good depth-wise. I think we're gonna touch on depth with racing a little bit later. We're at least doing. City's usually doing better than poor racing.
Yeah. So
what did you guys expect out of this game?
I expected Detroit. I don't know. I think it went like I expected it, because the one thing about Detroit coming into our stadium is it's a lot bigger field. I figured we would spread the field and press them to death, which is exactly what we did. Our high press was on fire, especially during the first half. If you look at the heat maps, it's just all in their end. And we really didn't give them any options to attack forward. They got a couple, like we're watching right now, but for the most part, and I know Goodrum isn't getting any credit right now because he isn't scoring goals, but his leading the high press was excellent.
He sets the tone out there, man. Goodrum's working his ass off. Like, he puts in a shift whenever he's out there. And the goals haven't fallen yet, but I mean, obviously he's capable of them. He's drawing a lot of attention too, because you can't sleep on Philip Goodrum, right? So he's also drawing attention from defenders. He's doing a lot out there aside from scoring goals, but I mean, obviously he really wants to score a goal. I mean, we saw after that missed pin last week, I mean, he kind
Yeah,
of wigged out a little bit.
that was pretty terrible. But yeah, he's putting in the work. He's leading that. He's leading that press,
Sets that
and
tone.
I think he's not getting a whole lot of credit for that, and I think he should. Uh, but we won. He didn't score. Serrano's been banging them in, and we're playing out of the back really well too. I mean, all three of our backs, especially Ordonez, who controls kind of that center of the back line there, are distributing the ball. And look at the way we're shifting the ball from left to right on the field, spreading that out, running Detroit to death. And I figured they would be running out of steam by the end of the game, and I think that's basically exactly what happened. And when they did, we brought in a whole new set of players. One of them got a red card that just wore him down. Look at the way Diaz coming up there and getting in on those attacks. And see Goodrum just sacrificing his body. You know, a lot more respect.
flinging
After
himself
watching
all
him
over
on
the
this
field.
game, a lot more respect for him.
So you had no respect before. Okay, that's on
No,
record.
I
I know
didn't,
that now.
I didn't say that. Oh, we got to admit, none of us really liked the guy very much because he played for Memphis, and he was a little bit of an asshole when he played. But now that he plays for us, he's one of the good guys. So
Yeah,
all
man.
good.
As long as he's scoring goals, I don't give a shit how he acts. I mean, he could go out there.
He's not doing that, but he's doing a lot of other things off the ball.
He'll get there. He'll get there. It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, for sure.
It's not like it's his main job as a striker to score goals, but stifling is what I would call the press that we had yesterday. I mean,
Too much pressure. Yeah,
they
totally.
couldn't even get out of their own end.
They could.
Right? I mean,
They could, and they had nothing.
most of their passes in their own half. I mean, we worked them back into corners frequently. I mean, just muscling them off the ball. I mean,
Boom.
just a
And then
fantastic
Serrano's just putting
performance.
them in. Again, Serrano's put on what, about 5 pounds this year?
Yeah,
Looks,
dude's bulked up, man.
looks a little bit bigger this year.
He's a presence out there now. He's harder to muscle off the ball. I mean, it seems like his shot power is a little better too. I mean,
Now Detroit left him wide open on that goal right there, so a little bit on their defense
and we appreciate that
for that, because he's just all there by his lonesome onside keeper. They got a new keeper, right? They don't have that tiny little keeper anymore, so he put in an effort, but it was kind of inevitable at that point.
Steinwasser, that was his name.
Steinwasser, that's right. 5'2" keeper.
He went back to
So
washing steins.
Last names are based off of professions more normally, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
so
He's washing beer mugs somewhere.
He's a descendant of dishwashers, right?
Yep. He's washing Stroh's beer mugs somewhere.
I'd like to drink some of those beer mugs.
Yeah, and then we hit the post right there. Probably should have been a goal.
So
but
we
Go
wore
ahead.
them down, right? Do you think we wore ourselves down a little bit too? Because in the
Watching
second
how-
half,
yeah,
intensity waned a little bit.
they did, and you could see it in the second half. Well, watching how hard some of the folks were working, you knew they weren't going to last the full 90.
Yep.
And our first sub was 3 subs, pretty much replacing the front line. So I think that was planned. But look at that. Again, relatively open. Good stuff right there.
I mean, yeah, guy tried to get in front, but it was a last ditch effort. It wasn't happening.
Yep. Look at
You said you didn't like
the
these
face of
kids, right?
defeat walking off the field. The face of defeat right there. Second half wasn't as good, I'm going to say. Now, from a stadium perspective, we did go to the waterfront end because the sun was just ripping apart the Estopano end. Didn't like the view as much, so we couldn't really see what was going on at the Estopano end from the waterfront end. That's kind of why I don't like going down there that much. But I think Detroit made some changes and tried to put some pressure on us. But, taking shots from 35 yards out ain't going to do it.
They put up a couple shots on target. I know that Danny mentioned in the post game presser that they bent, but they did not break, which is very important. I mean, That second goal helped a lot. But I mean, you're going to want to grind out games at some point, right? I mean,
Yeah, the second goal came after we made our line change, basically, because when you're replacing a player with Manny Perez, that's a meaningful sub right there.
yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised he's not starting. That was an excellent save by Lass. I'm
Damian Loss has been
yeah,
fantastic this year.
yeah. And he
Fantastic.
didn't see that till late either. Because look, he doesn't even start moving until the ball comes through the wall.
Yeah, look how many people are between him and the ball. I mean, how do you even get a fucking line of sight on that?
I don't know. Not a keeper, so couldn't tell you. Look how far Kyle Adams is up. And then Dia on that overlap.
Good cut.
Oh, hey.
I don't know. He went down pretty easy right there.
Yeah, well, when you feel that contact in the box, though, that's what you're going to do.
That's what you're supposed to do, yeah.
Boom. Yeah, all kinds of pressure on them. I mean, I felt really, really good about this. You know, and the thing about it is Detroit is one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. So being able to put them on all types of pressure like that and not giving them very good chances really makes me happy about where we're going this year. It's going to be a different team. They're going to really start gelling together, and plus they got their home field advantage because they play in that.
Yeah, dude, they've got
camp. First sub right here. 3 players, and look who's coming on too. It's about 57 minutes, right? So Goodrum put in that work, but 58 minutes worth, and boom, he's off. With
I like to see subs at 60. Yeah, that's usually the right time to bring in some fresh legs.
And it's all up front. Granted, Manny came in at the wingback position, but Davila Jr. and Jensen Wilson,
Evan Davila,
the other Davila, coming in our top striking force. I think it's excellent. That pass from Lambert, pretty much the only thing we saw was excellent. Manny just blew by that, boom, right on the goal.
I love how deep Manny ran too, right? Like he held that ball as long as he could.
Yep.
And I think that really made a big difference.
Wilson knew right where to go.
Wilson's got great instincts, man. Like I know the goals haven't fallen for him yet, but he's got. I mean, he knows what to do when he gets the ball. Like he has a general sense of like, here's where I need to put it. Here's the space that's open. Like he's got wonderful instincts. I think it's one of my favorite things about Jansen Wilson.
I want to say though that Lambert really set up that goal.
Absolutely. We
didn't get to see a whole lot of them because of this right about there. But when you look at who he's played for, where he came from, he's got 20 some odd, almost 30 caps for Jamaica, coming out of the Utah on the MLS. He's a serious player. So
we're not getting a good angle of this replay, but from the waterfront end, I saw studs. I'm just saying that looked like studs up all the way to me. I figured they were gonna. I figured they were gonna pull that card out. I had a feeling it was gonna be a red.
Yeah, I didn't see shit. It's too far for me to see, but lunge in and tackle like that, you got your stubs up. You can't cry too much when you get that red card. Kind of sucks because he's now out for 3.
I'm not sure. It depends on how much contact he made. They might end up rescinding that, maybe. I don't know, or at least dropping the suspension down.
I hope so, because I'd like to see more of him. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he made a difference in his 9 or so minutes on the field.
6'4". Did you know that? I didn't know he was so big.
I did. Yeah, I saw him on the field. Yeah, it's huge.
One thing we added to our team this year is size. All right. So
seems like, boys are hitting the weight room, man.
Final thoughts on the game. Best player on the pitch. I'm gonna say it's kind of hard to say. I'm gonna say, it's easy to say Serrano because he got man of the match because he scored the goal. You could say Las because he made a couple clutch saves. But our back three right there, I think, are very, very solid. Very, very happy with where we're at right there. What do you think?
I'm gonna go. You have to say Serrano, right? Because of the goal. But Goodrum played great as well. I mean, he was everywhere. He was all over the place. I thought he played really well. I really appreciated what he did out there.
Duncan,
but ultimately it's got to be Serrano.
Controlling the midfield, not giving Detroit anybody to pass to when they're trying to work out of the back. I think they deserve a lot of credit as well.
Zach Duncan had a great game too.
And then our wingbacks coming up, and or Adams or Toch coming up and participating in the attack. I think we just, some other pundit on some other podcast said that we squeeze players, we pressure them and squeeze them and push them into parts of the field that they don't want to be in. And I think that's an apt
big hug
description.
Yeah.
I didn't see any squeezing out there, but I don't know.
You did see squeezing?
I didn't see a lot of squeezing, to be honest, but they played great.
Yeah, super happy with that win.
Mm-hmm.
And beating Detroit is it's great because their fans get so sad.
They get angry. They don't get sad.
They do. They get sad and angry. They go through like stages of grief, right? So they're sad at the end of the game, and then like 2 or 3 days later, they come up on social media with like angry posts. It's great.
Detroit keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
But a good traveling contingent, regardless. Everybody I've ever talked to from Detroit who came down for the game has been cool.
Absolutely.
It just goes to show the internet's not real. So.
Yep. Always welcome in tailgate. Drink bourbon, drink beer, or whatever, and have fun.
Absolutely. I think we would be. It would be unfair if we did not show this little bitty here. Give me just 1 second here. Where are we at? Here we go.
This has been enjoying the moment.
This has been circulating.
Oh, look at that. So, Kathy, I want to say Kathy is the longest serving drummer on our drum line. She's been drumming for 11 years. You can't see her. She's behind Herman and Katie right there. But Kathy's nachos really took a year, too.
Yes, he knocked the beer out of her hand, she said.
Yep. And killed the nachos.
How big is a goal? Like, what's the goal mouth? It's huge, right? Like, this is way more impressive than an actual goal. This should have counted. They should have seated us points for this.
I mean, it counts for the nacho seller.
That's precision.
It was.
Somebody said online that no way. No
it
way.
Explodes.
No way McFadden is missing that wide. Did it on purpose. I was like, come on now.
Hey,
I think the club needs to hand out some club passes for the next game for the drummers. They have to go through all that. I'm going to advocate club passes or beers or nachos or all of the above for the drummers the next game for serving in the line of fire.
Club passes get you all that shit, right? That's
now, when I see Kathy, I'm going to say that's a rookie move. You never eat nachos at warm-ups. What are you doing? But, you figure she would know that after 11 years.
Who here has been pegged in the head by warm-up shots? Who
here?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we all have. We've all been there. One more little thing. Here is oh no, it doesn't exist. Oh no. Okay, well never mind. Kathy actually showed a picture of her hand online, and oh my, I hope she's all right.
Yeah, she was icing it down after the game.
She drummed. She drummed the entire game.
Of course. Kathy, man, 11-year veteran of the drum line. First 200 proofer of the Coopers.
We love Kathy.
Sower of tifos.
A sower of tifos.
She was the one with the sewing machine that sewed all the tifos.
What about Matt? Any closing thoughts from you about the match? I mean, like, I think we had a better turnout than we were kind of expecting. We usually hit a little bit of a low around spring break time period, and there was like rain in the forecast all week. We've got a lot of fair weather fans at times that, and I mean, like, literally, like, if it's going to rain, they're like, oh, you know, but.
So we're back to talking about the weather again, huh? Okay.
I love weather.
No, I can clear. It's very clear. Anything under 10K is a disappointment to me. Those are my expectations. So we'll be at 9,000. It's still a good crowd. It was
up top for Chicago. So
what else are you doing? Are you going to the park? Like, what are you doing? You walking your dog? Like, get to the stadium.
What about the 4 o'clock start time? What do you think about that?
2 thumbs
I don't know
down.
why they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan because if you go up into that section, you get up to kind of where we stand, which is row N or something like that, and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's no cloud cover. You're going to get incinerated by the sun.
Yeah, at least on an 8 o'clock kick. I mean, you're getting a second half in the dark, right? So you've got some relief, but
yeah.
No,
so we made
in the middle of the day.
We made the choice to go to what I'm going to call the Gate 7 bar, which is the bar by Gate 7. I think it's Rabbit Hole or some shit like that. We watched the first half from there, which was a great view. And then we went down to the waterfront end and stood kind of over, I guess when you're in the Estopano end, over on the right-hand side. Went all the way kind of down to the field level, and I really didn't like it there. Super quiet there. No offense to anybody. It's just, not very rowdy. And one thing I learned is that the banisters that help you walk up the stairs to get out of the section, I learned that those banisters are nut high. Because I was saying hi to somebody I hadn't seen in a while, and I wasn't watching where I was going, and I walked straight into that banister, and it squished my nut. And I know every single one of those dudes that hasn't seen me in a while saw me do that, and they're probably still laughing about it this day. But that was a little bit embarrassing. See, we don't have banisters like that. Our banisters are a little bit higher. So for dumbasses like me that don't watch where they're walking, be careful in the waterfront.
I like how you're blaming, like, stadium designers, like the construction of the stadium, rather than you actually looking where you're going.
No fault with this guy.
You got to protect your neck, and you got to protect your nuts, Ken. That's the job number one.
I nailed it. Squished it. It's not high, man. Go check it out. I swear to God.
Shall we move on to racing?
Yeah,
let's talk more about tornadoes.
Oh, sure.
Let's get back to that. Let's get back to the weather talk.
I would love to. Oh, well, racing against our old nemesis that we seem to handle pretty well. It seems like we always play pretty well against the Stars.
They're no longer stars. Communist stars.
Okay, was there a reason that they changed their name that I should know about?
I mean, I haven't read anything. I guess they just thought it sounded better. So the Red Stars, I mean, you can see the Red Stars on their crest, right? It's the stars from the Chicago flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I know that, but I didn't know.
I don't know.
Why drop the red? I mean,
I don't understand NWSL naming conventions. So it's just a series of fails and then trying to recoup. I mean, from our team to the whole Boston shenanigans to, whatever.
I mean, it's all better than Boss Nation.
that was terrible.
Most focused grouped fucking name. Get out of here with that. Boss Nation.
Pretty bad. Yeah. So the Stars, they were last. We were not last. So I thought we had a chance. And I tell you what, the first 10 minutes, I wasn't too happy. It was they were on a 2-hour weather delay. There we are back to the weather.
Let's touch on the weather delay.
Yeah,
the shit conditions, right?
Weather.
So 2 hours.
More weather talk.
There we go. Yeah, that's for John. So yeah, we had high winds. The field was saturated. Winds even worse than we had at the game on Saturday. And they have. I mean, you could see in the clips. I mean, ponytails, shirts. They're flying, right? These are adverse conditions to play in.
Yeah, and we struggled in the first 10 or so minutes to really kind of control things, and really needed Taylor Flint to step up and take over, and she did. Once we figured out how the weather was affecting things and how Chicago was coming out, I think again we just we put that high press and that pressure on them, and started having a little bit more opportunity.
When we play through Flint, we do exceedingly well, and I mean, she just brings just everything we need out there, right? I mean, she's picking up loose balls. She's making the passes into the final third. I mean,
making tackles. Making
great tackles,
telescopic legs. Yeah, she's once again proving to be our most important player by a long shot. I think Katie Lund too.
Yeah, I was going to say Katie Lund. It's odd to say that while Katie Lund is on the screen, right? Because she's also been historically probably our most important player ever.
And she did hit the 300 save mark for racing during this match.
Good for her. Congratulations. I wish she didn't have to make that many saves, but I'm glad that she did.
Yeah, 150 of those was in like the middle of August last year, I think, in one game.
Yeah, right?
No. What'd you think of O'Kane?
Pretty much you called her like she's a pest, right? Isn't that what you were saying? Like,
it's a scrappy O'Kane, right?
Scrappy, yeah.
Scrappy player. Look at that. She's getting all mixed up in that. Yeah, she's playing that number 10 role. I guess playing for where Savannah would play. And I thought she did really well. Believe it was her starting debut, if I'm not wrong. Yes. We had a couple debutantes in this game. And I think out of the three of them, I think Haas is a great player. And I think Scrappy O'Kane is an excellent player. Don't know how long Savannah's going to be out. Don't even know what's wrong with her. And that goal, look at that. The way the bottom fell out of that ball. I think the wind got a hold of that a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Big thanks to the Chicago wind.
And a deflection too, not to mention. Yeah.
Yes, the deflection as well. It just goes to show sometimes all you just have to do is put the ball in the right place, right? Just send it forward, send it where it needs to be.
It's not like it's a bad keeper that she's shooting on either.
Right.
World-class keeper right over there, right? Just popped it right over. And I think.
But nobody could have saved that.
No, absolutely not. So props to, once again, the weather.
And Emma Sears.
She had a pretty good game. She's going to get a lot of props because she scored a goal. I think we really need to get her so she can run at the defense more, because that's certainly it's her strength. But yeah, I liked what I saw. At least the first half. Second half was a little choppy.
There's still some good chances in the second half, though. I think they still outshot Chicago.
Sure did. You know, when you look at the stats that the NWSL does a pretty good job putting up, we pretty much won the game on most fronts. Maybe a little bit of a finishing. Oh man, Weber missed that. She could have scored
Sarah
on
Weber,
her debut.
Another first-time starter.
Yep. I think she should have come across and gone to the far post with that header, but oh, not that I would have done any better.
Yeah. What would you have done out there?
I probably wouldn't have made it up to the field very far because I would have blown a gasket.
Passed out.
Yeah. But again, I'm psyched for the win. 1-0. Certainly not decisive. But
It was encouraging though.
Yes.
Right. The trio, the three rooks, I thought played really well. Stuff to build on for sure. I really like what Haas is doing so far.
Sure.
Really integrated well into the lineup. Sav, we don't know. She got listed out as illness, but I know she was feeling lightheaded, I believe.
Yep.
Against Bay, and they took her off as a precaution. I know she went to a local medical facility, I believe is the term that you're supposed to use. Which she got checked out, so hopefully she's doing well. I know that I think she's back in training, so I mean those are all positive signs.
I can tell you, watching the match, I just felt Racing was playing very aggressive. They were every time there was a loose ball or run out for a ball, they were very showing a lot of hustle, a lot of grit. You know, I tweeted early season grit test here, and especially with a rain delay. What happened with Sav? So I think they showed that, which I was very pleased. On the road is difficult to do. You know, your adrenaline's flowing. You're ready for this match. Oh, it's going to be delayed 2 hours. I mean, that is something that you are not prepared for as a player on either side, but especially if you're the traveling side, it's not your home space. So
I think Coach Bev said that from before the season even began, is we're going to be a gritty, annoying team. We're going to, pressure and do what it takes to win the game. Good to see Ari out there too, subbing in. But did Fisher get a yellow card? No, she did not. I think that's a record. Is it not?
Fisher playing a game without a yellow card?
Yeah. So this is good. This is good because she'll be able to play more games. I mean, she's that kind of Kayla Fisher, the destroyer, up front.
Yeah, she's been really good as well at the 9.
In
defender,
a high
right?
press role, much like Goodrum for Lou City. I think maybe we can work on the finishing, but we're certainly showing an ability to press and make teams uncomfortable when they try to play out of the back, which is what Chicago was doing pretty much the whole game.
And this is
Kayla's 3rd year, I believe. So
yeah.
I mean, she's shown improvement year after year.
Yeah, no, she's better this year, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a Chicago club that lost 6-0 to start the year against Orlando, but they came back.
That's Orlando, though.
Yeah, and the next game they only lost 2-1. Now they lose 1-0. So I mean, they're getting better, but this is not a team to sleep on necessarily.
Right.
I mean, every challenge is. I mean, every game is going to be a challenge one way or another. Point being is, they came out. They played all those. They played all those matches, and maybe we could have won a little bit more decisively. But it's good to get a win on the road. Doesn't really matter.
I mean, W's a W. Yeah,
right.
On the road especially.
And the first dub of the year.
Yes, yeah. We've done a little sampler platter before the international break. We've got a draw, a loss, and a win. Just figure out which one we like the best and keep doing that. I vote wins, but I'm not on the team, so who cares what I think?
What do you guys
Yeah.
think of the commercials during player injuries or?
Hate it.
Yeah, isn't that
Hate it.
strange? That's
Hate it.
new this year, right?
For the NWSL, maybe.
Yeah.
The NWSL's been kind of trying to figure out how to put a commercial in halfway through the first half and halfway through the second half. They're actually better at it, and it depends on where you're watching, CBS or fucking Amazon or whatever, NWSL network. They're at least doing it during player
Hydration
injuries,
breaks.
but they have been known to do it during play, which drives me absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a dead ball, it's not as bad. But like, that's what put more on the field if you want to. I don't know. Like, this is soccer we're talking about. All right, this is not an NFL game. This is not the NBA where there's commercials every 2.5 minutes.
You got to find ways to drive revenue, though. Like I was telling Katie yesterday. Well, you've got to, because if the stands are empty and you've got, and I know 2-hour weather delay, but you've got attendance issues in some areas of the country. In other areas, you're drawing 30,000 fans. I mean, like, I don't know. You got to find a way to drive revenue. I look at everything.
They got that TV rights money, man.
I look at everything from a business standpoint. Can't help it. So like if I'm in WSL, I'm putting whatever the hell I can do to make money. I mean, shit, who cares? Blah. Yeah, love of the sport. Blah blah blah. Love of the sport. Yeah. Blah. Make money.
No, I think that's bullshit. Purist. Now back to the season for racing. We've got 4 points. The Washington Spirit, which we play next, has 6 points. So theoretically, we could be third if we win the next game. So, just because it was a little bit of a slow start, I think we're right there in it.
We're sitting in 9th right now, which is a very familiar position for us. Where we finished every single year of our existence.
Yep.
We got to get over the hump.
Yep.
And why not this year, right?
This is the year.
The Spirit game is going to be absolutely huge.
It's going to be brutal.
They're a tough team. Yeah.
Yes, they are. They just beat a really, really good Bay team, too. So, okay. Eat your Wheaties.
Yeah, right. But hopefully a packed stadium will help.
Where?
In that endeavor, right?
It's in Washington,
Thunder.
right? No, it's Thunder. That's right.
Yeah, it's Thunder.
Thunder.
Hopefully we can give them some home field advantage there.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Planes flying over at really inopportune moments for Washington. I think it'll be all right. Yeah, the Thunder game's fun, so hopefully people show for that. And I think they will. What is it? A 5:00 kickoff? Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Are you all going?
No.
Absolutely.
I think I'm going to go for the game, but I'm definitely not going to stay for Thunder.
I don't give a shit about fireworks, to be honest.
I got my ass chewed for staying for Thunder last year, so I'm not going to do that again. No, thank you. Yeah, Washington.
We don't want anybody chewing on ass this year.
Trinity Rodman, of course.
Yep.
She's a good soccer player.
She's just coming back from that back injury, though. So how good?
And she said that her back injury will probably never go away. So hit her in the back. Good. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe give her a little forearm shiver right in the small of the back. I don't know.
No, don't do that. But
Louisville City side of things, we're heading out west, Sacramento, coming up on April the 5th, next Saturday.
That will be tough. It's a long ass road trip, and Sacramento, I think, plays pretty well at home, and they have bring pretty big crowds in. So this will be a good test for us. We are still undefeated. There's only one other team that is better than us currently, and that's San Antonio. Sound familiar?
Ugh.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Not sure if you guys are aware, but the match between San Antonio and Lexington being called early season match of the year candidate.
Really?
What?
I didn't even watch it. Why?
It was a barn burner.
Huh.
3-2 was the score of that one in Lexington.
Oh. And I'm assuming Lexington
lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lexington, that is, I think, a little bit east of us, is in the West.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They take their cardinal directions like Detroit people do. Yeah. San Antonio is doing very, very well. Sacramento's in 8th. Not
Sacramento's
great.
in 10th.
They again have that sampler platter. So we'll see. Still always tough to go on the road. And then we got Tampa after that. So again.
Yeah, Sacramento just lost to a good Tulsa team. Here we go. Here's the line. We got Danny Vitiello, who of course is a fantastic keeper. Jack Gurr is dangerous. Rober Lopez.
Yeah.
Cicerone. I mean, yeah, these are this is a formidable lineup.
Lopez is a legend there.
Yep.
Oh, Cicerone, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've got some good players.
Juan Herrera, yeah, they got a good squad.
Still early in the season, right? So teams are still trying to kind of figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the luxury like we do of coming back with the same team year after year.
So in a very general sense, it's tough to get like excited about things this early in the season. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, but I think in our circumstances, it's okay to do that a little bit, just based on the continuity that we've got between seasons, based on track record. Very encouraging stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll wrap it up. We want to pick our Purple People of the Week. Choose one person. It can be anybody on the face of the planet or outer space that is your Purple Person of the Week. Matt, I'll start with you.
I'm gonna go with Lauren Millay. She's getting towards the first Centurion in racing history. Well-deserved honor. She got punched in the face. I mean, just straight decked
in the face
in this game. Yeah, I thought it should have been a straight red, but that's just me. She's just great. Never leaves it all out on the field. I mean, what more can you want?
Fan favorite, absolutely. She's fantastic. Ken, what about you, sir?
Already mentioned her, Kathy Rain, 11-year drummer, sower of tifos, first 200 proofer for the Coopers. She is a legend behind the goal.
Pretty good cornhole player too.
And she lost.
Maybe not with that hand anymore.
In her beer. So
no kidding, right?
Drummers are evidently fueled by nachos and beer. So if people want to support our drummers, our groove machine, then buy them nachos and beer.
Yep, absolutely. And maybe get a capo of beer while you're at it.
They're already pretty loaded, so
do the capos really need any more beers?
Probably not. Probably
John,
not.
Who's your 24-hour purple person this week?
Me?
Yeah, you're not.
You're
not a
I'll pull a name out of a hat here. I'm gonna go with Damian Loss. Back-to-back clean sheets.
Yep.
Okay.
I think he needs a stellar season. Here's my thing: is I long for the days of Greg between the posts. I feel like it's Kyle Morton. He did a pretty good job. I just feel like we have not had just a really rock solid keeper.
Who's that German guy? He's playing for MLS club right now.
Yeah,
Ben
Lund.
Mm-hmm.
The Berlin Wall.
He was stellar.
Yes, but he wasn't.
Lost stellar.
Yeah, I mean, look, we saw it on the highlights. He made some amazing saves, and so far so good from him. And I hope he has a great year. Seems like a swell guy. So like I hope he has a really good year. And I was gonna pick Kathy because you said on text it was something about some fucking nacho guy. So I had Kathy picked, but then you said Kathy. So whatever.
You can both say Kathy. Why not?
The nacho seller.
Then I picked Kathy too.
Now I sound like an asshole for not picking Kathy.
Well, as I said at the top of the program, I am happy to be back, and we will work out the kinks and be even better next week. We're not doing live right now, just because we want to get a solid ground. We shout out to Ryan at the Tide Talk, Rhode Island's podcast. Real nice guy. I kind of messaged with him. They have a real nice podcast, and we kind of explored our options, but we're kind of using the same programs that we used before. We're just a little bit different this time. Now, that being said, just in case you were wondering, that still exists. So, sorry, Ken. But
I don't think I even swore this entire episode.
Well, no, that rule is thrown out the window. You see, this is a parental advisory. But
I want to get chewed out by your mom again.
Yeah, hi, Mom. All right. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
If you're gonna listen to any Louisville City podcast, it might as well be ours because I don't know if any others are going. If you're going to listen to any racing podcast, you should listen to Butchertown Rundown because it's much better than this. But if you're going to listen to two, hey, we'll take you.
Ken?
I think both teams are off to pretty good starts. Obviously, Louisville City is doing what they do, and I think there's a lot to be excited for racing as well. So come on out, enjoy the games, and say hi if you see me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't talk to me, though.
Don't talk to me.
Please don't.
I am unable to talk at games.
Yeah. Well, once you watch this video, if you watch it on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, too, if you do comment, or if you want to just add us, we're on various social media accounts. We are even on the Blue Sky. And be sure to hit us up and say hello. You know, we're kind of like an open, free format at this point. We're going to be doing some things throughout the season, having some fun. And we always love communicating with people. And, you know, it's just one big purple family in Louisville. So much love to everybody. I appreciate you watching. And these guys do too. For Ken and Matt, we will see you next time on 24 Hour Purple People. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good one.